Hello. This isn't going to be the end of the project, but I am running out of time with the new year coming and getting back to work and all of that, so I'll have to cut out on the videos for a moment. There are a lot of things to cover. One of the most important things is creating a tokenizer.json, and I'll cover that in a moment. First, I wanted to point out that with the current state of the repository, I am using a local version of Candle because I've made some changes that have not been yet pushed to the official HuggingFace repository. Hopefully that'll happen before too long. I will go over all of that so you can see what's happening. All of the new changes are based around the new models that I've added. You can see these here in the new README models markdown file that I've added. So all of these are in my HuggingFace repository. There are links here, and you'll use the config model YAML if you want to change those. The Candle Chat config does basically two things. One is that if there is a prompt template, then it will load the appropriate prompt template, but also it needs to find in the Candle repository the proper config in order to use. I have pushed this chat ML, which is a very common prompt format. It needs a different vocab size. There are several other configs that I'm using right now that are not yet pushed to HuggingFace. That's what broke dependence on the official repository. Hopefully that will be fixed before too long. You can see here I've put these as well, so you can just reference whichever one you want, comment out the one that you don't want, add the one that you do want, or follow the examples here to add your own. And now we're going to look at how I set up the tokenizer.json for the model that we went over in the last video. So here we can see the tokenizer.json file. The standard Mistral tokenizer.json has a final token using this mung character, which means dream in Chinese. But in order to use the chat ML prompt format, we needed to add two new tokens, which you can see here. And you can also see here in this tokenizer config that they've added these, and that's how I knew what I needed to add to the tokenizer.json. And here in the config.json, it's clear that the vocab size is not the standard 32,000, but instead 32,002. The final change is that I have added a directory called backend/context, and if load context is true in your config inference.yaml file, then it will look in there for text files and PDFs and load any of the data that is in those files into your prompt template. I was having a lot of difficulty with running out of memory, so beware that you can't load too much data, but it does work to some degree. I added an example file in here so you can see something using it. It was difficult to find information that was unambiguously not in the model, and so finally I found these recycling fact, which I could query the model with and without this context, and if it did include this PDF, then it shows the correct fact, but if it does not include the PDF, it says that it is not aware, but here are some similar facts or something similar to that. Also, in the PDF loading, I've removed a lot of special characters in order to ameliorate the out-of-memory issue. That just about does it for now. I will be fairly short on time in the near future, but although this may be the last video in this series, I will be continuing the project. A friend has convinced me that I should change the name and rebrand a little bit to make it a little bit flashier. So there are some exciting changes to come. However, those changes will not be very soon incoming, but definitely be aware that if you start this project and follow the future, then you may be pleased. That's about it for today. Enjoy whatever you're doing and have a great one.